Look how just crazy this looks. It's like, woo, woo. Okay, let's pull that off to the side and let's get going. Today is April 17th, and I'm going to talk about what I did right, what I did wrong, what I should have done differently trading futures today. As you can see, we are in a red position. That's what I get for following my rules. Oddly enough, I kind of predicted this and didn't play it like I should have. So let's talk about that first and foremost. Or let's go to TraderView. We are up about $700 on the day. Part of that is we locked in an options trade. If we only break this down to our futures trades, then that puts us up something like uh which one do I want to be in? That puts us up something like 500-ish on the day, I think. If we go to futures trading, $592 on the day. So the way that we managed to pull that one off was I was long M2K, which is the Russell Index. I got long that right there. As you can see last night, we pushed up today. We had this bit of a pullback. This was this morning. I saw it pushing up. I saw what appeared to be rejection on a shorter time frame, and it's hiding my arrows from me, so I can't see where my position was. There we go. I saw what looked like rejection, so I did end up actually manually closing one of those contracts. I was in two contracts from right here with a stop below this point of consolidation. So I got long. We pushed up overnight. I locked in one contract on my own. I put my stop below the structure, and obviously we pulled down, and that was right around well, actually, no, that took place this morning as well. That was 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, somewhere around that time frame. So we got one long wick that was sort of a fake out this morning, and then it continued pushing right on up. And that's exactly what happened on the S&P 500 as well. And as you can see, we pushed up, the sellers came in, and then we tagged this area right here that I was talking about, sort of like if we break above that, I kind of think we're just going to run for it. And that's exactly what happened. Now, what I wish I would have done a little bit differently is I figured that something like this was going to happen. I saw the push up and I was like, I think just based on a daily time frame, we need to see some green. Is it possible that we reject out of that zone? Yes. I really think that we reject out of something like this. Maybe we just get another stupidly green rally. We run up to like here before the market decides to remind us that we are actually in bear mode. So I did end up. This is where I'm kind of kicking myself. I was in short. I saw the lack of follow through, and I actually got out at about break even. I saw the market sell off immediately after that. I guess it was right around the time that Powell was talking, and I got long. And I mean, my long position was something like right here with a stop here. It was a see if we can get it on the 15. No, it's not going to show us where that was at. It was probably something like this. I forget exactly where it was. Uh-oh. Everything froze. My mouse died. Well, that puts a hindrance on making a video, doesn't it? See if we can't get this thing plugged in and working again. So I got long, and I ended up putting my stop at break even because I wasn't playing the zone. I'm technically like per my rule set, I should be short out of this zone right now, and it was one of those things where I'm like, I kind of feel like the move is to go long, but I want to short it. I don't trust it. And so I ended up getting back in short even earlier, and then of course we ended up pushing right up. So I got tagged out at break even on my long position. We continue pushing up. I got back in a little bit early to go short, and as you can see, unless something really nice happens and like we curl over overnight, I'm going to take a loss on this position. So my wife is texting me now. What is uh sorry. Let's do this. If I were smart, I'd edit this out. Um I was planning on getting Chick-fil-A for dinner. And then Chick-fil-A apparently has a power outage, so I'm not getting Chick-fil-A for dinner. All right, enough distractions. We're going to get this done. Got out of my long position. We pushed up. I got short. I deleted my type 2 order. So I decided I did not want to fight the trend on this one. This this candle configuration right here is kind of what was having me think that we were about to see a push up. That just looks like a classic bull flag. We pushed up into a zone where we expect there to be sellers. The sellers showed up. We pulled back. I got long. I had to stop below this wick. I got tagged out around break even. And it would have been, I mean, right now I'd be up $500 or $600 on that one trade had I held it. So one thing that I did do to offset myself was I got long on MESU, which is the September expiration for the same contract, and there's my play on that. So I am preemptively long, which is really dumb of me. I wish I would have just played it one direction going forward with that. I've kind of been fudging my own rule set a little bit though, and that's I feel kind of weird doing it. Like that whole M2K play, there's no zone here. There's no nothing. Even if we go to the continuous contract, we are technically between zones, and I just kind of felt like we were going to see a push up. By the way, how sweet of a trade would that have been? I might start taking M2K trades like just as back burner plays because this zone to zone stuff seems to be much slower moving. Like this is the 4 hour. We could kick it over to the daily and you kind of see how long this is going to take to play. So I might start slipping in some M2K stuff. Man, I still want to short that in this zone though. Everything about that to me is like lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Let's come on down. Anyways, let's not get completely distracted here. So it looks like I'm about to tag out of that. I'll take a $200 loss there, and then assuming that we just continue on long up to that zone, I will make money. I'll make close to $400 on my other MES contract with a different expiration month. So I am kind of playing this both ways. That's not the way that I would normally trade, but there was something about this. I was like, I wanted to stick to my rules, and I wanted to get back in short, and obviously it's going to cost me some money now. So what could I have done differently that would have actually really made this work out well? Like, why was this not a very successful trade? It would have been a 3-to-1 at that point. Where was it? It was probably something right here. Did I have 3 contracts in that? No, I only had 2. It was like I had my take profit set right up here. I was set to make over $500 on this one trade if we pushed up to where we are now. So this right here, not only am I losing $200 on this trade, I could have easily made 500 had I just held on through it. And so this is essentially to me a $700 loss. Like I'm beginning to look at my futures trading, and let's start by saying that this is actually an awesome place to be. I'm confident enough in my trading with these things that I'm not sitting here bleeding money every day. I'm looking at my trading and I'm going, oh man, instead of making X amount, I only made this much. Like I locked in $700 of wins today, and I'm sitting here like, oh, but it could have been a better day. Like I locked in almost $600 just in futures trading, and I'm like, but I could have made $1,100 today. Like that's an awesome place just for my confidence as a trader to say, I know that what I'm doing works. I just need to tweak it and dial it in and maybe trust myself a little bit more. And I think a big component to trusting myself more is realizing not only have I learned to trust the zones, but I've learned I think through some of the events of today that when I set a stop loss, that is me telling myself this is where I'm actually wrong on the trade, right? So even on the hourly time frame, we got that massive wick that once again would have been an awesome buy. Like let's delete this. I will short that zone, by the way. Those orders aren't going away. I'm probably just going to tag out for a loss on this one overnight. And then I'll be looking to get long, so I'll be actually extra heavy long on this going up because I think if we break this and retest it, we're going to see a little bit more green. But this trade right here, everything about this trade makes perfect sense. We basically got a break and retest of structure. Yes, it's between zones. That's what fueled the sell-off right here because that's where the sellers were hanging out. This secondary sell-off here was a little bit weird, and I think that's the main reason I was a little bit concerned about it. I really wish, I think I even wrote in my trade journal that I was expecting a break and a retest of this. And like the perfect trade honestly would have been let's grab it here. Let's probably do yeah, you could do 2 contracts really comfortably in that because if we break back down into that range, like it's just going to be a loss. And then 2 contracts. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong number. There's 2 contracts, and I mean, you're looking at a 3-to-1 without even leaving the zone. Like, realistically, I'm trying to get this thing to push up to here somewhere. So that would be that'd be the trade of a lifetime. Like, what's that? 5-to-1. That would be a $1,000 trade. That would. We're not going to talk about what could have been. What we are going to talk about is something that I need to fix in my mentality moving forward. I have the tendency with futures to get into a position to put my stop at break even, and in this case, I decided to fight against the market when it suddenly decided that it needed to do something different. Why in the world am I doing that? Right? Now I get it. This wick was a little bit suspect. I should have gotten in right here. All right. All other things aside, why am I bumping up my stop as soon as I am? Well, it's out of fear. I don't want to take a loss. I don't want to admit that I'm wrong, and so I put my stop at break even, and then it inevitably comes down, tags me out, and I don't have the same experience that somebody like Don does to say, all right, I'm getting right back in. Because to me, it's like, well, hold on. If I'm getting right back in, then why did I get out in the first place? Or to word it a little bit differently, if I think that this is a good buy, then why would I sell here? And that's all that I'm doing if I'm closing out of my position by bumping up my stop loss. I'm looking at this spot and I'm like, suddenly it's a sell and not a buy. Well, wait, I would not short it right here. This pattern right here, no way, would not short it. So why would I look to stop out of it? Well, because I'm trying to protect myself from a loss that I'm perfectly willing to take. Like, and I look at this. Remember this trade? I got in long on this retest right here. We derped around all day sideways. My cost basis was right here. I was seeing red yesterday. Like literally, my account was showing me like $15 or $20 in the red when it dipped down to these wicks, and then we finally pushed up and made profit. Why didn't I have my stop at break even then? Because it wasn't time to sell. Nothing about that pattern told me to sell. Why in the world did I go long here and then sell? Because of fear. Nothing in the charts is telling me to sell. And I'm realizing, like I've said, my weakness is I'm not good at this. Like the thing that Don does when he trades futures is like out and in, out and in, out and in, and he'll finally get one that runs. That's not me. And what I am realizing I'm decent enough at is I can look at a 4-hour bull flag and be like, oh, I know what's about to happen now. So why did I bump my stop? Why didn't I just let the plan actually play out? If I'm looking at the 4-hour candles, I shouldn't even think about moving my stop for at least 4 hours, if not 8. So that's something of what I'm realizing with my trading. There's something to be said about following the zones, trusting the zones. When I take a trade, I let the trade play out. I haven't been managing my positions. I haven't been trailing my stop losses because every single time I do it, I end up making less money. I'm looking at trades where I'm like, wow, I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I decided to make less on it because I was scared of losing a little bit. And yeah, that's my whole mindset here. When I take a trade, I'm risking $200 on the trade. What I'm telling myself is I'm completely fine with losing $200 on a trade. Does not bother me at all. My dog is going crazy now. So I shouldn't be closing out of trades this early. I hope that's been a helpful breakdown. I'm going to go shut this thing down before any more distractions happen, and I'll see you next time.